What is up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Bikini Things, where we talk everything from competing to fitness and mental health to living a healthy lifestyle. I'm your host, Laura Morche, IFBB Bikini Pro, here with my co-host, Sammy Joe, IFBB Bikini Pro. We are so excited to have you here with us, so let's get started. How are you, Sammy?
I'm doing good, getting my schedule aligned and just chugging along through prep for
Yeah,
getting
you're what, 7 weeks out tomorrow? Is that right?
there. Yeah, tomorrow. So today's Friday.
Okay.
So 7 weeks out tomorrow. Things are looking good. We'll see. It's, that tentative. If we're there, we're there. If we're not, we just go on to the next show. So we'll
Yeah,
see where we're at come 3 weeks out and really make that final decision. But I'm excited.
yeah. I know last time we talked, you were switching to essentially all Stairmaster, right, for your cardio.
Yes.
How's,
Yeah.
how's that been?
It's been good. I literally, there was like the other day, I was like, I want nothing to do with the Stairmaster. Like the thought of this just sounds miserable. And then I got on, I started editing like just like YouTube videos, Instagram posts, things like that, just like full blown edit mode. And honestly, 30 minutes went by like that. So if anybody is on cardio right now listening to this, keep the podcast going. Just keep yourself busy and it will literally fly by, which is really nice. Like when you just distract yourself. So that's been
Yeah,
my
I
go-to.
agree. What setting do you put the Stairmaster on when you're doing your cardio?
I usually have it on 5 or 6,
Okay.
level 5 or 6. That way I don't trip and fall and crack my head open. I was
Okay.
like, I was
Okay.
literally
So you,
cracking up. I usually do like my cardio check-in videos.
Mhm,
And the other day I like tripped as I did it. And I made the caption. I was like, literally risking my life every day for these cardio check-ins.
mhm.
It makes me so nervous.
Or it'd be funny if you had one because sometimes you do them as like it's boomerangs, right? That you do.
Yeah,
If you have like a boomerang where you're like mid fall and like
falling
that's
backwards.
like the boomerang.
It's bound to happen one of these days. Hopefully, obviously it doesn't, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. So when you do Stairmaster, I'm just curious because I do it a little differently, but do you do like both hands on the phone? Like while you're, is that the method?
so I usually lean forward and like rest my elbows down and then have both of my hands, because especially if I'm editing I need both thumbs to like adjust the
I
video.
see.
So I'll either lean on the screen in front of me and edit, or I'll lean over and edit so that I have stability but also both hands to edit my content.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing I upped my cardio, Sammy, too, in the last like month. I'm doing 10 minutes of cardio on my
Ooh,
training days.
spicy.
I know where it's really getting intense. It's literally,
Deep off season.
it's honestly really just there. I mean, partially, I think it was probably not a good idea to take it out completely for just health. Like I don't do that with my own clients. I keep at least a little bit,
Yeah.
at least that much in, right? Just for some
Yeah.
cardiorespiratory
Movement.
benefits, or steps or something. But my appetite, we've talked about this, has been so bad that I think I just literally needed more cardio to just help stimulate my appetite a little. So it's
Yeah.
been helpful. I think it's been good. It's easier for me to hit steps. So yeah,
That's
but
good.
yeah, but when I'm in prep, I like the Stairmaster too. I feel like I can use my phone a lot better because if I do incline treadmill, I'm like power walking and
Yes.
I need both hands, to like do this or whatever.
Yeah.
The Stairmaster, I feel like I can actually use my phone and like, yeah, reply to comments or check emails and like actually, even if I'm going kind of fast, if I can at least have like one hand for balance and I can like do stuff with, the phone in the other
Yeah.
hand. So,
Okay. So I have a question.
mm,
Chris and I were talking about this at the gym the other day because I see this all the time on social media. Do you feel that if you're on the Stairmaster and you're hunched over or supporting yourself, it is no longer beneficial and you should lower your intensity?
That's a good question. I feel like you should be going slow enough where you're upright. Like you should not be death gripping the
Right.
Stairmaster, and you should not be like, really
Holding yourself
pushing.
up.
Yeah. Cause it's like at that point you're kind of doing an arm workout and like your legs are just you're just like literally picking up your feet rather than like stepping.
Yeah.
Makes
But
sense?
if you're just like, so if I'm just like hunched over like this on my phone, not because intensity is too high and I can't do it,
Uh-huh.
is
What
that
what percentage, okay, follow-up question. What percent we're such dorks, I mean, I love it. What percentage of your body weight is supported on the Stairmaster when you're hunched over?
oh, like maybe 10%, not even.
Okay, so then I
It's
think you're
for
good.
balance and support,
Yeah.
not
Without,
to.
yeah. So
Okay.
without seeing you, I think you're good. Like if you're, because we've all seen those people, right, where they're like
Yeah.
death
Like I'm not like elevated
doing
and
a
my arm
tricep dip
dipped.
hold.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think you're fine.
Hun-
I think it's really more about like, are you actually carrying your body weight? If you're not actually carrying your body weight with your legs, what are you, but even then, like, to be fair, those people who are death gripping the Stairmaster, they're probably still at least getting their heart rate up. They're probably still is it maybe the ideal way to use the machine? No.
Yeah.
But are they getting their heart rate up and probably benefiting their lungs and, heart health? Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And that was
So,
like that was what I had put in my post. Like cardio is about cardiovascular health and getting your heart rate up to a healthy level or that fat burning zone for yourself based on your height and your weight. So it's like if you are leaning over, like you said, if you're not supporting yourself too much, you're still getting the benefits of an elevated heart rate and things like that. But also you're actually probably putting more strain on yourself with a death grip and utilizing that arm strength for 15, 20, 30 minutes, however long you're on there.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I can a couple points to that. So let's say that is the scenario. If you're someone who say has poor posture, 'cause sometimes I honestly the people that are usually doing that are usually like the guys. I feel like it's the guys
yeah.
that are like hunched over. If you already have like say really poor posture or something, it's probably not good for you to be like still hunched, right? Like death gripping like that. You're only going to exacerbate that posture.
Yeah.
If the goal of cardio is heart health, right, and just to maybe get yourself more active, or let's say you're a true beginner in the gym, sure. If you're a competitor, right, and the goal is to burn the maximum amount of calories and you're not using your legs as much, it's probably counterproductive, right? Or that is
Yeah.
counterproductive because your legs are your big muscles. Also, if you are a competitor and you're using the Stairmaster as a tool to lean out or shrink down your legs and you're not using your legs, also a problem.
Yeah.
So I guess that's my thoughts on, you
I
know,
agree. Yeah.
grasping for dear life onto the sides of the Stairmaster.
Yeah. It was funny because I mean I see people post about it all the time on social media and then I see it specifically at the gym. And I had brought it up to Chris, and we literally had this like whole. We were on the same terms, like basically what you
Yeah.
just said too. But I was curious what your thoughts were.
Yeah. Yeah. I always tell what I tell my clients for prep and just in general is I'm like, look, you can hold on to this Stairmaster, but like for balance, just to make sure you're not falling off. I don't want you putting pressure. Like I don't want you
Yeah,
pressing through your arms to hold on. You should be able to just be upright and your hands are just kind of there to make sure you don't like, fall off the
topple over.
machine.
Yeah,
The craziest Stairmaster thing, and I see this every so often. Back when I was in grad school, so this was like a decade ago, um, I went to Indiana University for my master's, and so that's a very big sorority fraternity school. So I was never in those, but that was a big thing. That was like a big demographic on campus. And you'd have these sorority girls, like the Stairmaster were like the coveted machines at the student rec center, which was like this huge.
yeah,
Now I think about it, I'm like, that gym was amazing. It was massive, like so much equipment, so much stuff.
yeah,
We'd see all these girls not only doing the like sideways stair climb, right? Where we think maybe we're like, I think the idea is that we're going to work our outer thighs or our obliques or something.
yeah.
I would also see girls all the time using the machine at literally 180 degrees backwards. Your butt is pointed towards the control
Screen.
panel. Yes. But I would see girls using it backwards. And I still, every once in a while, I'll still see this.
That's so funny.
Have you ever seen that before at a gym, Sammy?
So it's funny that you mentioned that because Chris and I were talking about that too. He'll do that in increments, but during his session, not the whole time. So like to switch it up or like to stretch his calves or his shins because they tighten up, he'll
Mhm.
turn around for like
Okay.
maybe like 30 seconds to a minute and then turn back around. But not
Okay.
to like not because it has more of a benefit or less of a benefit or more so just for the stretch purpose and like to move around more
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So that actually makes sense. Now I would see people like doing their full session
backwards.
180 degrees backwards. Yeah.
That's like walking backwards on the treadmill.
Yeah, and I think the idea is people think they're gonna like work their glutes extra or something. I
I
don't
feel
know.
like that's not like you're working them less. Like I feel like you're more focused on posture and balance when you're backwards than you are actually engaging your legs in a like do you know what does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if I was walking backwards on a stairmaster, I'd be so nervous that I would fall that I would focus more on keeping my balance than I would actually engaging my glutes in my
Yeah.
steps.
Yeah, I think
That's so funny.
biomechanically that doesn't work. Like for your glutes to engage, and like I think a really simple example is think about the difference between actually, no, I was going to say between a marathon runner and a sprinter, but that's not quite it. So your glutes, you're not really using them when you're just walking, like when you're just taking steps, right?
Yeah.
But if you start running or you increase the incline or you're stepping, that's where your glutes will work.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. It's just so dangerous. It's so dangerous to be using a Stairmaster backwards. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's funny. I can see that though at like a
Yeah.
university, especially. Yeah.
Especially 10 years ago before you had like when I was in grad school, this is how old I am. When I was in grad school, like Instagram just came out. So it was like a new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, dating
It's
myself.
funny you say like how big the fitness center was because I think back to like my fitness center at university and like granted I commuted, but I don't think I actually, I was like dabbling in fitness at the time, but looking back, I don't think I appreciated how nice of a gym that was
Yeah.
because like
Yeah,
I just
because
didn't really realize it. Like
yeah, it's just
I
it
didn't
just
have
seems
much to compare
normal.
it to.
Yeah, you had
Yeah.
nothing to compare to.
But I'm
So
like, shit, I wish I could train there. No.
I know. I know. I think
That's
about
so
that and I'm
funny.
like, yeah, it had everything. Like, multiple weight rooms, whole cardio room, like more weights plus an indoor track, plus a swimming pool, plus a spin
Yeah.
room, plus a TR. Like it was, yeah, just nuts.
Crazy.
Yeah,
That's funny.
the good old days. But so today we were going to talk about Gym Icks. And I think this is a fun topic because we see a lot of this with like I always love Joey Swole's content of like people,
Yes.
kind of just maybe I guess being rude. I don't know that those are necessarily just gym icks, but I think there's so much filming going on in gyms these days and so much commentary on what people are doing, or not doing right or this and that in the gym that I just thought it would be a fun topic for us to talk about today. So
Yeah.
so why don't we just open it up, Sammy, for you, what would you say are maybe some of your top gym icks or pet peeves or whatever you'd like to call it?
The biggest thing for me is sandals or Crocs. Like if you're wearing Crocs to the gym to then change into sneakers, different story. If you're, you know, wearing Crocs to the gym because you prefer to do your cardio barefoot for some reason, that's another topic. But sure, go ahead. But if you are in the weight area, lifting in sandals or Crocs, what are you doing? I can't. That I just, to each their own. I would never like outwardly judge someone for that, but it's one thing I won't. I'll never understand.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of that comes from sebum, right? Like
Yeah,
who trains barefoot. A few thoughts on that. So first of all, I'd say most commercial gyms probably actually have a policy that you have to have at least shoes on, like at least no sandals. So maybe Crocs qualify as shoes. But my thought on it, I agree with you. If you have your own private gym, if you're a CBUM or you have your 2020 home gym still in place, like by all means knock yourself out. Like it is kind of nice sometimes. I've done
yeah,
that, but I have my home gym in my garage, right? So
yeah.
it's my space. One, I think it's gross. It's like not very hygienic. I just a lot of times too, the Crocs, Sammy, are accompanied by pajama pants and someone who looks like they literally just rolled out of bed and have not showered in a few days. And so the whole combination is just so gross. I'm not a fan, right? That's just
Yeah.
from a hygiene perspective. So that's,
It's
feel free to disagree with me.
no, I 100% agree. And it's like there is, you know, scenarios. That is like going to a hospital and your nurse coming into your room wearing a bathing suit. You would question your life. They wear scrubs because hygiene, uniform, and that's just the,
Yeah,
standardization and appropriate attire. I'm not saying everybody needs to show up at the gym in Alpha Elite or Buff Bunny or, Bombshell or
bombshell.
whatever it is, Bombshell, whatever it is, but like,
Dark sport. How many
yeah,
brands can we name?
I'm like, athletic wear is athletic wear, right? Like, if it's, whatever brand it is, whatever company you buy from, it is called athletic wear for a reason. They're called pajama pants for a reason. Like, there's a time and a place for things, and that's
Yeah.
just not the time and the place for that.
Yeah, I agree. And the last thing I'll say on the Crocs and sandals, which I think is a great one, is just from a safety perspective. The reason why a lot of just commercial gyms have a policy on like you have to wear shoes, you have to wear a shirt, is yes, hygiene, but also safety. If you drop a plate on your foot and you're wearing sandals, you're much more likely to break your foot than if you're wearing a pair of actual shoes, or
Yeah.
someone else. Like maybe you're perfectly, perfectly fine on your own, but maybe somebody at the platform next to you is walking around changing their plates. You guys are next to each other and they drop something, right? Or they drop the barbell,
Hmm.
it's like a safety thing. It's like I've dropped a plate on my foot before, but luckily I wear tennis shoes. I've never broken my foot, but I've had clients that have done that. They dropped a plate on their foot, and even with normal shoes, they broke their foot.
Yeah.
So I just think yeah, I would definitely agree with that one. And alongside that too, since we're on the topic of hygiene, just like hygiene in general, like bad BO, not wiping down your machines. I feel like these are so common sense, but it seems like people are just not always aware of this. So
Yeah. And it's like, how do you not have self realization? Self-awareness. Like, you are the person closest to you. How is this not? Yeah, I don't get it.
yeah,
How do you not
yeah.
smell yourself?
I think some of it, at least what I observe, because now I just added a gym membership this week. So now I'm in total at, if you count Chris Psycho's gym, I have 4 gym memberships now. So
Okay.
it's getting a little excessive, but especially the 24-hour fitness. And feel free to call me listeners, whoever, feel free to think I'm ageist, whatever. I think it's a lot of like teenagers, like a lot of younger folks, not all, but
Hmm.
definitely some are the ones in the PJ pants and the Crocs and not showering, showing up to the gym. So I think some of it, maybe it's an age thing. Maybe it's like a lack of awareness or lack of maturity.
Yeah.
Maybe those that are in high school, they've never been in a professional work environment where you have some form of a uniform or dress code expectation. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, in the and I 100% agree with you. But in the sense of hygiene, my son doesn't leave the house without deodorant on.
Mhm.
And if he doesn't have deodorant on, I tell him to put deodorant on. So where are their parents?
Yeah. Well, you're a good mom, Sammy.
Like like you
Yeah.
smell, go put deodorant on. Like
Yeah.
how's that conversation not being had? Like I definitely understand like they don't understand the attire because they're not used to that setting. And like I love that kids are in the gym, don't get me wrong. But you learn patterns, habits, do research, understand things, things like that. But at the hygiene part, I just don't understand that. Don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good one. Um, what are some other gym icks? I have one that I can think of too.
Yeah, go ahead with yours.
So mine would be the person that is on their phone forever on a machine.
Yes.
Like how many times do we see people that like I feel like I'll do 3 or 4 exercises and they will still be on the same machine and they've maybe done like 2 sets total.
If that.
I don't understand that. I really don't.
Yeah. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I use my phone in between sets, but I also track my rest sets on my watch so that I'm making sure that I'm doing either 30, 45 seconds or a minute, 2 minutes, whatever, depending on my workout. So I just like don't understand how someone is just like, what are you doing? What are you doing on your phone that you're you're lost?
Yeah.
Half the time they're scrolling on social media and it's like go stand on a treadmill, go do that on a treadmill, or go sit in your car and do it. Like why
Go in
here?
the parking lot. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, go, literally
Yeah.
there's couches up front, like go hang
Yeah.
out, go home,
Yeah.
like go
Yeah.
home.
Yeah, true. And to be fair, if you're a power lifter and you're doing your thing, I will give you a pass. Like if you're at a platform and you're a competitive power lifter, that's your training style, and you have 6 minutes or five
Hmm.
minutes in between sets, okay, honey, like scroll on your phone. I'm sure you're tracking your rest time, like that's fine. But I'm just talking about like the generic machines at the 24-hour fitness or the LA Fitness and
Yeah,
someone just like hanging out. I think that, yeah, I don't understand it, but
yeah, agreed.
to each their own. That's a big pet peeve of mine, especially if it's like a coveted machine, like you're on the abduction machine or
And
you're on
there's
the
only
hip
one.
thrust machine. Come on, like I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, especially when there's only one and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, now there's a line now, like let's go.
Yeah.
I would say another one of mine is people who listen to, like people who carry around portable like Bluetooth speakers throughout the gym and listen to their own music on a speaker
Are there
and
people
not
in your gym
headphones.
that do that, Sammy?
I've experienced it one time, but that's all I needed. That's the only amount of times I needed to experience it to know that it was a pet peeve.
Whoa.
They literally had their like little portable speaker playing their own music on top of the gym music. Like I guess mostly everybody was wearing headphones, so like they didn't realize it. But I was like, what are you like? What are you doing? Like you're not the only one here. Granted, like I had my headphones in, so it didn't affect me, but I like had my stuff paused for a second, and I was like, where is that coming from? Like no situational awareness whatsoever.
Yeah. Did
So
you
crazy.
did you say anything to them?
I didn't because I mean I just had my own music in. And it was a guy. So I also like it I didn't want to cause any
You
like
didn't want to fight anyone?
yeah, I didn't want to have to beat his ass in the gym.
Okay. So I see that. Okay. Yeah, you wouldn't want to embarrass him. Um, so that I would have a very hard time not saying something either to them or to the gym staff because
Yeah.
I've gotten in this mode a lot of times. I think maybe just because at Chris Psycho's, either he has music, um, I've actually gotten, and I kind of like this in some ways. I don't have to listen to music at the gym anymore. Or I'm just fine with the ambient gym noise. But if somebody
Yeah.
does something like that, I think that's so annoying and disrespectful. And I'm aggressive enough that I probably would say something to that person.
Yeah.
Or at a minimum, the staff, I'd be like, hey, this bro is carrying around a boombox. Like, can you go please tell him to turn it off? It's distracting. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not, I will,
I
I will
totally
be that,
agree.
I will be that person. Like I have in certain scenarios, I have no problem being the bad guy. And I'm also like, I'm not some dainty little female. I'm 6 feet tall. I'm over 170 pounds. I'm probably taller than most
Try me.
guys anyways. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're like, literally try me right now. Turn the
Yeah,
music.
literally. So literally, there are times where it's like I've no problem being a bitch. Like I have no
Yeah.
problem at all. So, and that would be one of them that would piss me off because a lot of times I don't train with headphones.
Yeah.
So,
That's actually funny you say that because there was a time where if I forgot my headphones at home or if they were dead or something like that, and this isn't necessarily a gimmick, I guess it's just like growth in the gym. I would have literally been so miserable. I would have driven home to get my headphones or I just would have left. But now I'm like, I'm here. I have a job to do. I'm going to train. I'm going to make the best of it. The
mhm.
music's not that bad. It's most likely a song that I haven't heard in 10 years. So I'm probably going to enjoy it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know what's funny? And I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. If you were to, I guess this could be a gym ick. I mean, if this is an ick for someone, but if someone, say I'm at like, I don't know, the preacher curl machine and I do a set, my bag's there, I go off to use the restroom and come back. And I have my bag still at the machine to like hold the machine for me in between sets.
Mhm.
Do you feel like that's a gym ick, or is that just like I'm still utilizing my time, or should I bring my bag with me to the bathroom and then come back when I'm done?
For me, I bring my bag with me everywhere because I keep my wallet and stuff.
Okay.
So I bring it with me just because I don't want anyone to steal my stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll only go so far away from my bag.
Yeah.
I think if you're speedy, like I don't think it's wrong. Like let's say you're speedy, right? And each gym layout's a little different. Like I don't think it's wrong if you're trying to save a machine in between a set, if you like put your towel or your water bottle, right? Like
Hmm.
that's your way of saying like, hey, I'm using this and maybe I just went to go get a paper towel to wipe down the machine or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't think that's wrong. Me personally, I don't leave my bag anywhere that's like not within eye shot because again, I'm just nervous that at a random gym people would take it.
Yeah. There was a confrontation at my gym the other day because someone did that. And I don't know if they like went to use the restroom or if they literally just went to go get like water or paper towel or something.
Oh,
But he came back and like someone was using the machine and he's like, hey, like my stuff's here. I was using this. And he's like, well, you weren't here. So sucks to be you, basically.
oh shit.
And
So
then he was like, well, dude, I was like using it. And then the guy who took the machine, like literally blew up, started calling the guy names, and then like got escorted out. But it was crazy.
maybe a little bit of roid rage or something. I don't know.
Good old LA fitness.
Yeah, good old LA fitness.
I'm like, I need a new
So
gym.
speaking of which, I joined Lifetime. You should join.
Oh, they're building an EOS right by my house. I'm
Are
like
they?
so excited. Yeah.
Nice. I've
And
been
then
to some of
there's
the new ones though. Those are nice. Rafa and I decided to join Lifetime. It's so bougie, but I'm so excited for it. Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's needed. So,
There's Rain. It's like, well, okay, so there's only two locations. There's a private one, like a smaller location closer to me, but then like maybe 5-10 minutes away, there's a bigger location. It used to be a UFC. So it's like imagine the size of like a UFC gym. That one is, I would say, on the bougier side because there's only two locations, so it's like pretty small and private. And then they have like 24-hour accessibilities, and then they just have like nicer equipment. It's more like aesthetically pleasing. So I'm like,
nice.
I'm just sick of filming in LA Fitness.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
like
mean,
it. Cause like I go at the same time every day. Everybody there knows what I do. So like I don't get sideways looks like when I do film, but like it just like doesn't look good.
Yeah, I understand. No, I understand completely. I feel like, yeah, if you're anyone who's trying to make content or put yourself out there, or just your coach, right? You're a coach, you're trying to market yourself. Maybe you want to give a gym tip of like, hey, here's how you do a hip thrust or whatever. You need a place to film that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if I were you, Sammy, I would just go for it because I think something like that, like a gym membership, especially if you're using it for, say, work purposes, that sounds weird, but I mean, I would,
Yeah.
I would just go for it.
Yeah, for
Lifetime,
sure.
Lifetime was just kind of needed because so I go to Chris's gym and I do really like that gym, but with traffic, it can be as much as an hour and 10-minute drive each way.
Hmm.
So it's too far for me to go all the time. I mostly just go on go twice a week for my training sessions. And then my other gyms are like 24-hour. And then the bodybuilding gym we have here in Orange County, they're just like they're quite like they're not the cleanest. And
Yeah.
and that's fine. And I do love the bodybuilding gym like Revival, but I sometimes I want the like pristine, clean, bright environment with
Yeah.
people. And also I spend so much time at home working and I take clients here in my home gym and stuff too. It's like I need reasons to like get out of the house and be around people.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like the day I went on a guest pass, I actually bumped into one of my posing clients there. So I actually
Oh,
bumped.
that's so
So
funny.
I was like, okay, this is like gonna be a good move. And since Rafa joined and we live together, we can do
Yeah.
family rate. So it's actually a little bit more affordable. So
Oh,
it's
perfect.
that it has like the nice pool, like they do the whole like summer DJ thing. So it's like I can
Oh,
actually have
that's
like a
cool.
place to go. I know it's very bougie, it's very Orange County, but
Hey.
it's just for my quality of life, I think it's needed.
Yeah, for sure. And too, like with how much time you actually spend in the gym, like you want a place that you know is quality that you can like you're enjoying your time
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. And I'm very, in some ways, I'm very mercurial with my workouts and my moods, and that some days I'll like wake up and I'll say, oh, I really am in the mood to train at this gym at this time of day. Like, okay, especially if I ever have to train on Friday nights, actually really a lot of times I like to go to Revival because I know there's going to be a lot of people there. It'll be a little bit of a vibe. It's young,
Yeah.
it's a younger crowd, so I like that. And then there are times where it's like Lifetime, it just has so much natural light. It's nice and bright. It's like I just get in moods where I'm like, okay, I want to go to this gym for this equipment. I want to go to this gym on this day. So I like having
Yeah.
options. I think I can't be the only one. I think a lot of
No.
companies are like this.
Yeah, and I mean, I just don't have a lot of options around me, but I would totally do the same thing. Like, even when I go out to the self-made and RSM, like, I know I'm going to have a good workout because it's the vibe of the gym. Everyone there is working hard. It's a trainer gym. So, like, everyone is, they
Yeah.
have better equipment. I know I'm going to get a better quality workout because of the equipment that they have. And just like the atmosphere, the music is always loud. Like, I don't need headphones. So, that's the nice part, too. It's
Mhm.
just like I
Yeah.
100% agree.
Yeah. Well, if we get together for some work dates or things like that, I get a bunch of guest passes to start. So we
Ooh.
could go. And the cool thing too, that's another thing of me just getting myself out of the house sometimes. They have a bar, they have like a cafe, they have like this whole area of just
Oh,
like
nice.
couches and tables where people are literally just working just like a cafe. They have a salon. Like it's a little nuts, but I'm like I think I'll actually use these amenities and I think I can actually take advantage of this in a way that's just
Oh, wow. Yeah.
improves my quality of life.
That's awesome. Yeah, especially little like a work area is nice because it gets you out of the house and you're
Yeah,
still being productive.
exactly. Exactly. So maybe next time you're out here, we can go check it out or get a workout or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, for sure. We'll plan that.
For sure. Okay, so
Yay.
what are some other, I'm trying to think, what are the other like main gym icks that actually too, how about with because Joey Swoll talks about this all the time, like filming in a gym. What would you say, Sammy, are the um like to-dos or like not to-dos? Like what are the etiquette, what's the etiquette of filming in a gym?
Yeah, I would say if you know that there's someone like literally right behind you on a machine, or, you know, right in your vicinity, wait until they walk away to film. Or just if they are in the way, just be like, hey, I'm about to film this. And I've done this a number of times too, because I film on cinematic mode always at the gym. So if I know that someone's in the way, I would say to them like, hey, I'm filming, it's on cinematic mode, so you're not in the shot. It may look like you are, but you're not. If you don't want me to film, I can totally wait until you walk away, or just so you know, you're not in it, whatever. Just kind of like prefacing that. I do see that a lot on his page. Like, people will actually say like, hey, you're in my, like, not rudely, but like, hey, you're in the shot, do you mind? I can stop it, or whatever. But I would definitely say that, like, prefacing that is good. Or if you're doing something, film at an angle to where no one else is being seen. Just respect the people around you, honestly. Like, people are there to get their workout done. And, if you're a person that films, that's fine, but just being respectful and mindful of those around you.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Is there anything specific that you would suggest?
No, I think you're spot on there. In these busy gyms where so many of the posts are people getting upset at these busy commercial gyms, I don't think those are the types of gyms you should try to film at. Or if you do, it should be
Yeah,
like go there at midnight when there's no one there and it's empty, or get your butt up and go train at 5 in the morning. Like
really.
when I first started competing, and like when I first started posting more fitness stuff on Instagram, like 2016, 2017 and on, when I was competing for the first time, I would go train from like 5:30 in the morning until like 7 before
Yeah.
work. And so, and I had for a long time, I had a coworker that would train with me. And so they would film me, right? So I'd just say like, oh,
Mhm.
and they would be mindful, right, of like not getting other people in it, whatever, the gym's empty enough. And yeah, I think you shouldn't have other people in your shots. Number one, if you're trying to use it for content, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look aesthetically pleasing if there's people in the background.
Yeah.
And yeah, just having that awareness and that respect. So if and when I'm filming, because most of the time now it's like I don't think I actually film myself that much. It's usually at Chris's gym, which is a private training
Yeah.
gym. Um, if I am filming, I'm pretty good. I have this like little handy dandy like collapsible adjustable tripod, and I will just put it like right in front of the machine that I'm using, like angled in a way where it's just me.
Mhm.
And if
Yeah.
anyone were ever to come up to me or feel like they're in the background, I'd be happy to show them like, look, it's just me and this machine, and I figured out the angle, so you're all good. Um,
Yeah.
I think that's the
I
main
just,
thing.
I also feel like if you are getting angry at someone walking by, you are more focused on content than the quality of your workout. Like, filming my workouts, like if I'm filming as I'm working out, it's just a benefit, right? If I'm going in there with the intention of working out, or with the intention of filming, it's totally different. But if I'm filming my workout, I'm actually out, I typically film like my second or third set. And if I get the angle, I get the angle. If I don't, it is what it is. I make use of what I have. So it's like the people that are filming and like actually get aggressively angry, I feel like they're there for the wrong reason. And they're more worried about their content than they are the quality of their workout.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. And I just think, in general, if like recording is your goal, try to find a space that's conducive to recording. And in general, 24-hour fitness at peak hours, or LA Fitness, I'm sure at peak hours, is probably not the best place. And that's why
Ideal.
that's why you kind of feel like, oh, I wish I had something, as an alternative option.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one. What are other gym icks or pet peeves that you have?
I would say it's actually the opposite of the hygiene one. People who wear too much cologne to the gym.
That too.
Like, if I am literally choking on the cologne that you are wearing because you're working out next to me, that is just as much of a problem as you not having anything on.
Yeah.
Like it's like a happy medium. Like put deodorant on. Like I appreciate that you smell good, but like I'm also gagging over here
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah. I'm
suffocating in
having an
your
asthma
cologne.
attack. I'm having an asthma attack from your clone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. I think that one, I wonder though if those people like I doubt they like put extra cologne on to go to the gym. Maybe they did, who knows? But it's like they just I'm assuming like the people with BO, like they probably are unaware, right? They might be unaware
Yeah.
that it's that strong. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like those are the main ones that come to mind. Hygiene, music, shoe selection. Those are the big, yeah, I feel like those are the big ones
Mhm.
for sure. I've had this gimmick, but it's just like a funny story. During my last prep, when I was doing my national run last year, someone came up to my sister and was like, I'm really concerned for her. She looks really thin. I think she's like not eating enough. And I was like, you know me. Like literally come talk to me. Why are you talking to my sister about how concerned you are? Like,
Did she know that she knows that you compete?
oh my God. Yeah. Well, no, it was a guy, but
Oh,
yeah, they know I compete. They knew I was in like the thick of prep and like still went to my sister and was like, I'm really concerned for her. So it was really funny. I literally, like when I started this prep, I went up to them and I was like, hey, I'm starting prep, so I'm going to get really thin again. Just know that I'm eating and I'm probably the healthiest I've ever been. So no need to worry. And they laughed, but it was like,
I love that. I love that you did that.
why? I'm like, why go to somebody else? Like, come to me if you're that concerned.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Not
understand
really
it.
an ick, but a funny story.
Yeah, I understand it. That's a tricky topic too, because I remember so in graduate school, that's when I started teaching group exercise classes at that crazy gym. Like I would teach
Hmm.
spin there. And so they had these training modules and stuff. And so in different policies, right? Like one, performing CPR, like, we did all the first aid training, like all that. But they also had policies too on like people who might be like over exercising and stuff. And that is a sensitive topic because I think most of us, by the time we're adults, we've probably known at least one person who's had an eating disorder, right? Like
Yeah.
whether it's anorexia or bulimia or something like that. And when you can see it, it is, it's hard to ignore. Not that you looked like that, Sammy, but maybe to that guy, like from his perspective, he's like
Yeah.
thinking like, oh my gosh, Sammy's, she's not eating, she's withering away, right? And it's tough because I think when you're in those scenarios, it's very hard to address something like that with the person. And especially if you're not
Yeah.
close to them, that's such a sensitive topic that most people, they don't want to say, they don't want to talk to you about it. Unless
Yeah.
they're your family member or like your best friend, if they think that's going on, they're probably not going to say anything to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I just thought it was funny because they knew I competed. And it's like they're there at the gym the same time, it's like that gym friend that you don't talk to outside of the gym, but talk to in the gym. But yeah, no, that's definitely like for some could be a sensitive topic. And if it was, the later that they don't know or they're just seeing me wither away, then
Yeah. Yeah, that's
yeah,
interesting.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I mean, people definitely during prep, right? As you get lean, people feel the need to say things to you or make comments on your body, and it's definitely interesting. Uh,
Yeah.
I think I've gotten less and less of that over time, but when I first started, I remember getting a lot of it, or maybe it just wasn't as well understood. So it's
Yeah,
interesting.
for sure. I can't think of any other icks. I would love to know if you guys have any. Well, we can do a part two of this because
We'll
I
do
would
a part
love to
two.
know what other people's gym icks are. So if you guys have gym icks, well, we can post like a little question box on Instagram as well to get more there, but leave them in the comments below because I'm very curious to hear. I'm sure people have laundry lists of pet peeves and gym icks, so I'm very curious
Yeah.
what else goes
Yes.
on out there.
Yes. I think there's much more, and we're probably just scratching the surface, but okay,
For
well, I think we'll wrap it here for today. So thank you all for listening. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already on YouTube. If you're listening on an audio platform, rate, review, give us 5 stars. And as always, share with a friend so the podcast can grow. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will catch you in the next episode.